to make sure everybody knows that.
And you're right. She's right about that. You shut up and listen.
So I think that because he's delivered on all the promises that he's made in the campaign, his followers are not only growing, they're digging their feet in. Go ahead, sweetheart. Hey, my name is Lauren Rhodes. Sorry. Okay. So, I came here very open-minded to hear what you have to say. I also want to let you know that I do respect your opinion, although mine differ from you. Some of the things you said, though, I want to hear you back them up a little bit more. So, like, okay, so I know the research, especially about black killings in America. I make myself very educated on it. So I know that you are correct. Oh, no, y'all didn't have to. So you're correct in the fact, hold on, no, listen. You're correct in the fact that, I'm sorry, y'all. So you're correct in the fact that black killings among Americans or young black youth is at a lower rate than white America, but you're also not taking into the fact that black people are a minority, so that statistically, the percentage of white people versus the percentage of black people, that doesn't take into account. Also, I think as far as the Black Lives Matter movement, yeah, you have these radical people who are like, oh yeah, let's get rid of police, the Me Too movement, yeah, let's get rid of men. I don't think that's what the movement was made of as an essence. So it's been hijacked. You're right. You're right. But so the thing is, though, my question is, though, like, in all your statistics and stuff about black people in this, how many of those police officers were convicted as opposed to the white police officers that were Hold on. First off, let me just say this. I think that any police officer, you know, I mean, there are different situations that go on, but there should be convictions for anybody that goes out and shoots somebody without any reason or harm. So you're asking a question of something that I didn't say, and you're applauding something that I didn't say. I didn't say people should not be convicted. So, but I want to answer your question. First off, the rate is what I did talk about. The rate is that white Americans were killed at a higher rate than, like, not the numbers. I wasn't looking at the raw numbers. The rate. Hispanics, I know I'm trying to answer. You asked me three parts. Hispanics and whites are killed at a higher rate. Don't take apart the population difference. A higher rate than black Americans are. And police officers are 18.5 times more likely to be gunned down from a black man than the other way around. So just to answer that question. What was the second thing you asked me?
The question overall is that in a lot of these cases, though, especially you brought up black on black crime.
Right.
The thing is, a lot of times in the black community, when a black person kills a black person goes to jail.
That's not true. In the south side of Chicago, they don't even catch the killer at a higher rate. That's just not true.
But my question is, and all the statistics of white cops killing black people, how many of those crimes were police officers convicted of these killings?
Look, but that you're asking me a question about something that I didn't make an argument for. I'm not. You would never hear me launch a defense saying that when a police officer does something wrong that they shouldn't be tried. I actually did an entire project when I was in school on the blue wall. Police officers look out for police officers, period, and it's wrong. But I would never argue that it wasn't wrong. They're police officers, because of the protection that is provided from the fact that they work for the system, are more likely to get off in committing a crime, obviously, than somebody else is a regular person. I think that that's actually pointedly wrong. And the last thing that you brought up was the Black Lives Matter thing. And you said, oh, there's some good segments of it. That's the point, okay? White liberals like to start these groups, these things with black emotion, so they can build their platforms on it, okay? That's just the truth. I mean, that's it. They get power. So they start with you because they know that we're going to be emotional and loud and applauding. We're an emotional group of people. I mean, let me tell you, if I was sitting in an auditorium at a different school, even if people disagree with me, they'd let me get through what I had to say, right? They bank on our emotion. That's what I'm saying to you, is that at the core of all of these movements, it starts on something that might be kind of real, and then it gets hijacked by liberals so that they can secure votes, period. And I'm against it.
All right, listen up, because I want to get to some more questions. All right, this is from one of the cards. This person writes, as a fellow Republican, I have encountered some racial issues while being a member of the party. Have you experienced this, and how do you deal with it?
So here's what I'll say. The Republican Party is splintered in the same way that the Democrat Party is splintered. I think that they're definitely, to me, is a part, and these are actually the never-Trumpers, I would identify. I've seen this within the never-Trump, like within the Republican Party, there was a group of people that were never-Trumpers. I mean, obviously you guys know that. He was also fighting the Republican Party when he ran. And I've seen, I like to be cautious when I use the word racism, because I think that
thrown around so much today that nobody takes it seriously because we call everything racist, and then everything's racist and nothing's racist. So I like to be careful when I use that word, but I will say that I observed in that smaller market of conservatism, almost like they turn their nose down to culture, and because black people are really, we're cultural, like we're more cultured, I would say, and you know they don't understand hip hop music, they don't understand Ebonics, and they genuinely think of culture and black culture as being something that is like less than. But I would say it's very, very minuscule. But I've observed it where I've been like, I don't really think that you understand black people. I'm not sure if you're happy that I'm here.
Hi, my name is Lydia Page Moffitt, and I'm a sophomore majoring in political science. My question to you is, if you don't agree with the structure and the organization of movements such as the Black Lives Matter movement and the Me Too movement, then why haven't you worked with leaders to try and fix these laws as you see fit, instead of siding with a president's views who promote the oppression of black people and demean females when that's a direct reflection of you as an African-American woman now?
Thank you. That was a really good question. Can I ask you a question back? How do you feel that President Trump has promoted the oppression of black people?
So, for our generation, for the youth, a lot of what we see is from a social media perspective and from some of the tweets that he sends out, or even the statements that he makes when they're offensive and derogatory towards females.
But just say one way, because I get this all the time. How can you support a president that oppresses black people? What has he said that has been, guys, gotta let her get her question out. Like, really, what have you heard him say that has been oppressive towards black people in particular?
Hold on, listen up now, we can't hear.
So if we're going to talk about from a female standpoint, there was a big blow up when the whole video footage came out about him talking about women in the washroom, talking about ground women by the private area, things of that nature. And if you want to talk about...
You want my opinion on that?
I like you first to answer my question, and then if you'd like to...
No, well, because the answer to your question is that if you gave me specific examples, I would tell you what I thought about them. Usually people like to say blanket, it's derogatory towards women, but if you give me an example, I'll tell you what I think about that. So you're talking about the grab them by the pussy. He said that groupies will let you literally grab them by the pussy, right? That's what you're talking about? Saying that that's derogatory. Anybody ever been to, like, I actually used to intern, and I'm not going to name the artist that I worked for on the road, some hip-hop artists. Anybody ever been around groupies? I'm not saying, first off, we're talking about him being privately recorded talking to a guy. I hate when people act like we're saints. I hate this. I hate the garbage of like virtue signaling. I would never say that groupies. Yes, you would. It's in all of our music. It's in our culture. Yes, you would. Be real. I hate when we act fake. Okay? It's fake. It's fake. Okay? You know how people are talking about groupies. You can put on a Jay song and hear that. You can put on a Kanye song and hear that. Okay? So Trump says it in a locker room, and all of a sudden the black community wants to virtue signal. Oh my God! It's just I can't believe it's boring that he would ever say this. Like, yes, groupies do a lot of disgusting stuff. It's in all of our music. Why do you suddenly not like that when it comes out of a president's mouth and he's talking about it in a privacy of his room? I mean, people need to just stop being fake. I hate fake people. It's just fake. Said it.
All right.
That's a direct quote.
Next question. All right, y'all listen up because I want to try to get a couple.
You know it's true. You know it's true. When people in our community, like we grew up listening to hip hop music, and people in our community will be acting like they're really offended about Trump's tweets, and I'm like, it's fake. When Jay-Z was sitting up on CNN and he was like, you know, he hurts people's feelings. I'm like, Jay-Z, have you heard a Jay-Z album? Like, it's just fake. I don't like anything that's fake. Period.
All right, I'm gonna do just a couple more. All right. One question, this one says, can you elaborate on your quote, the most controversial thing I've done was decide to think with my brain instead of my skin tone?
Yeah, I did say that. It was because it's crazy. I've done a lot of controversial things in my life. I mean, I did not have an easy childhood. I lived through a lot. I saw a lot growing up, and I was constantly in trouble. Suddenly, I said I was a conservative, and the whole world blew up. That was considered the highest controversy ever, is a black person saying that I don't subscribe to groupthink, I think for myself. To a black person standing on a stage and saying, I don't care if I'm in a room of 3,000 people that disagree with me. If I believe what I believe, I have the boldness to stand up here and tell you that these are my thoughts. So the most controversial I ever most controversial thing I ever decided to do was to think with my brain instead of my skin tone and to not subscribe to monolithic thought. As you can see, it's quite controversial.
Hello. I'm really open to free thought, but I feel like your attempt to educate has been an opportunity to belittle, because I feel like a lot of us in the room feel belittled. But my question is, instead of conforming to a conservative view...
You guys are the ones booing, and I just like basically got booed off stage. I'm just responding to that point.
Okay. Instead of conforming to conservative views, why don't you just redefine and reshape what it means to be a liberal? Because I remember you saying you were a liberal before you decided to be a conservative.
Because every single one of the liberal points are hypocritical. They're just not real. Like, and when I talk about that, it's like a perfect example of that is just like that question that I just said. Like, you have to be some type of a hypocrite to pretend that somebody talking about groupies in a locker room offends you, but at the